Hello, my name is Dante Renee, and welcome to the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more. Like tonight's film, this is 1984's The Rosebud Beach Hotel. Here it is, folks, on a DVD release from Empire Pictures, I believe, with an M. Also, I'm not exactly sure. This looks to be ripped off of a VHS, but it seems to be an official DVD release of this film. This is the back of the film with a couple shots right here. Try to get rid of the glare a little bit there. But there is the film. And we're going to get into this here. It says in the top, an Empire Pictures release. This is from 1984. This is a very rare and unknown film. I never heard of it before. I picked it up off of Amazon. It was referred to me because of some other films that I was looking up or looking at. So let's get into this film. On the front it says, "Make your reservation for an explosive time." Now, we're going to get into the Rosebud Beach Hotel, folks. We're going to be looking at the music. We're going to be looking at the style, the characters, the themes, the whole vibe, feeling, and experience of this amazing film right here, folks. There's so much to talk about with this film because it really is something special. I watch this film and I think, my gosh, how is this not a cult film? How is this not getting a Blu-ray release? Of course, it's a niche market. Of course, it's going to be for, kind of the sex comedy lovers, but also, essentially it's also kind of mixing a variety of things within the teen sex comedy genre, and it also shows the capabilities and it expresses what the sex comedy genre could be, and how much freedom was within the sex comedy genre. And it's not a genre that's respected in 2017. It's not a genre that movie distributors are putting out a lot of movies for. It's not a genre that people really have a lot of interest in nowadays. But in the 70s and the 80s, this genre was king in many regards, with a station like USA that was doing their show with Gilbert Gottfried and Rhonda, who now does QVC commercials. It was called USA Up All Night, and as you know, my childhood was severely impacted in the best of ways by that TV show, which was showing horror films and sex comedies. So let's get into the Rosebud Beach Hotel right here, folks, which really moves around within that genre, and it expresses itself in some pretty magical ways, predominantly also with the cast of this particular film, which is dumbfounding. We have the story about a couple that's in love, and there's an opportunity for the guy in the couple to own his girlfriend's father's hotel in Miami, Florida, I believe. And he gets that opportunity and he replaces the previous owner. And there are a lot of interesting characters inside of this hotel. There are a lot of interesting situations and repercussions and secrets and possibly some crime, and also a lot of implications within their romance with each other. And this is a film of characters. This is a film of characters. I talked about actors, and this is a film of characters without a doubt. Within the hotel, there are characters. Underneath the hotel, there are characters. The couple and their interactions with each other, and the girlfriend's father, and the girlfriend's father's connections with crime. There's a lot of just wild people in this movie, and wild character driven weirdo situations as well that are just awesomely creative. Who are some of the actors in this film? Who are some of the characters in this film? Well, we have Colleen Camp. Yes, Colleen Camp is definitely a lead actress in this film. We also have Christopher Lee. Yes, we have Christopher Lee. We also have Fran Drescher. You'll know her from that TV show The Nanny. She is just stunning in this film, very attractive in this particular film. But that's not all, folks. We also have Sherry Curry and her sister. Yes, Sherry from The Runaways. Not only are they in this film, but they are also providing much of the live music soundtrack, and also kind of they are the hotel band. So it is, what a surprise that was. I had no idea. And you know, being a big fan of The Runaways, being a big fan of Sherry Curry and all this, knowing that she was in Foxes and had very limited cinematic output, but this was one of the films. And if you watch the film called The Runaways, you know, with Kristen Stewart and Dakota Fanning, you'll learn a little bit about the fact that Sherry Curry you know, kind of pursued a bit of a film career. So let's get into this film. I do have a good number of notes written here, so you might see my eyes divert. And the Rosebud Beach Hotel. This movie needs to be talked about more, and here's my opportunity to tell you about it. We start off this film, and right off the bat, you know the genre you're in, and you know the magic that you're about to experience within this sex comedy genre. We have soap opera 80s pop right off the bat with the music. The opening title sequence is something that is used a lot at the end of films sometimes, but it's some of the characters kind of talking, or in the film that we're about to see, with their names underneath. So you see Colleen Camp, you see Fran Drescher, and that's the opening credits of the film. A really, really spectacular opening. I love openings and endings creatively with credits, using footage, things like that. This is, we have Christopher Lee in this film, fencing. Yes, fencing. We have some action 80s score type music in this particular film. We have Latin Miami music filled with some congas and you know, Latino hand percussion. We also have slow ballad 80s piano, jazz, 80s jazz, 80s sleazy jazz, orchestrated 80s vibes. And also we have a main theme in this film that at some points represents itself in different cues, in different musical representations within the score. We have a guy that lives in the boiler room who built his own bomb shelter. Yes, we have a guy who lives in the boiler room of this hotel. We have two old women who sell flowers and smoke pot, and I believe sell pot as well, hidden inside the flowers. These are two very, very hip, wild, old women here, folks. We also have a man who believes he is an alien, who loves to take video footage and photographs of all the hot ladies at the hotel. He is called the extraterrestrial tourist. We have maids in the hotel that sing, and they just so happen to be Sherry Curry and her sister. I believe her name was Mary Curry. Is Mary Curry. We also have elements of the score that are darker, a little bit, I don't want to say horrific, but a little bit just dark vibes. Not something you were prepared for in a film called The Rosebud Beach Hotel, sex comedy, so on and so forth. One of the things I want to mention here is Colleen Camp. Colleen Camp is one of the lead people in this film, and it reminds me a lot of her character in Wayne's World. But if you think of part one, but if you think of Colleen Camp, this film's humor is not necessarily the typical 80s teen sex comedy humor. It's really not. It's more represented by the type of humor Colleen Camp represents and is about. It's weird. It's off kilter, just like Colleen Camp can be with her characters. Weird and off kilter, and witty also, and sometimes dialogue driven humor, not so much body humor, if you catch my drift, or slapstick or anything else like that, or overly goofy. No, not really. We have a hotel hooker bellhop team at the hotel. This awesome hotel lounge and bar that also has live music and dancing. The house band is Mary Curry and Sherry Curry's music. Their solo, Mary Curry's solo stuff here in the film. And we have some beach activity in the film, like some beach juggling that actually is pretty wild, and it's pretty amazing to watch when this guy jumps in the middle of it. We do have some dark humor in this film as well, some pretty black humor in this film, which is not something necessarily you also see in a teen sex comedy. We have a great kind of quote here that's spoken by Fran Drescher's character, and I might be switching a few words here, but it's something along the lines of, in order to keep a man interested, you have to treat them like a dog. And that happens to be a theme that runs through the film a bit. We also have some homosexual jokes in this film. We have some danger in this film. We play strip, spin the grenade. Yes, strip, spin the grenade. We have military humor in this film. 80s rock pop. With some 70s influences from Sherry Curry, people dancing in a dance club to the music. There's an interesting theme in this film that is spoken by these old ladies where they say, booze, alcohol is for the young, but marijuana, or something along the lines of the good shit, is for the people in their twilight years, the older people. People talk a lot about Crispin Glover's dance sequence in Friday the 13th Part 4, but I gotta tell you, they need to start talking about Colleen Camp's dance sequence in the Rosebud Beach Hotel. If I told you that, this film is very connected to Colleen Camp's weird, off-kilter vibes, her dancing in this film at the club is so bizarrely fantastic. It's not even funny. We have explosions in this film. We have bazooka rocket launchers in this film. We have bombs in this film. We have architectural destruction in this film. Also, look at the walls. There's some 80s art that I remember from my childhood. I don't know who the artist is. It's not the type of art that's in TerrorVision, but it's just wild 80s art, like kind of 80s pop, suburban art, rich art, something like that. A lot of saxophone in the music in here. A sax, 80s pop, jazz, that kind of saxophone. We have a beach party with live music from the Currys again. And we even have science fiction in this film. And we also have a twist at the end of the movie that reminds me of the playing that is done to the viewers in a film called Believers, which is a modern film directed by the directors of the Blair Witch Project, where the twist at the end of this film really kind of messes with you in the same way Wes Craven's, I believe it's called Deadly Blessing, also does that. The essence of reality to the movie watchers, and what is assumed to be true. This is the Rosebud Beach Hotel. This is a party. It's a fun time. It has action, it has crime, it has hijinks, it has wit, and we also have lots of breasts in the film. We have a row of women's butts, and I have to tell you, a very sexually attractive bellhops in this film, bellhop outfits, very large boobs in this film, thighs, The girls look great. Colleen Camp even looks great. Colleen Camp even has a little bit of sexual humor in the film, and a pretty racy outfit near the beginning of the movie. And there is the girls just look great. There's a wild party in a bomb shelter in this film. With some of the girls are completely nude, but you're not seeing their vaginas at all. But you're seeing butts and breasts, and they just look 80s awesome. So this is it right here, folks. The Rosebud Beach Hotel. There's a lot of wildness in this film. 1984. Thank you so much for watching the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page, where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more, like 1984's Rosebud Beach Hotel. Thank you so much, and good night.